Welcome everyone to my channel. I'm excited to delve into a crucial aspect of your professional journey, being a trainer. Today's video focuses on how you can boost your training skills with the 12 steps, so you can conduct your next training session with more confidence and success. Here's a breakdown of the 12 steps I outlined, highlighting their importance in conducting a successful training session with examples. Step 1. Welcoming and greeting the audience. Sets a positive tone, makes participants feel valued, and creates a sense of community. Example.
1. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to have the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience. 2. Hello or hi everyone. Thanks for coming. 3. Hello, everyone. I would like, first of all, to thank the organizers of this meeting for inviting me here today. 4. Good morning everyone and welcome to my presentation. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here today.
Step 2. Introducing yourself. Establishes your credibility and expertise, helps participants connect with you as the trainer. Example.
1. I would like to quickly introduce myself. 2. My name is. I have been a freelance trainer for over a decade. 3. For those of you who don't know me already, my name is Preston Smith. And I'm responsible for. 4. Let me introduce myself. My name is Preston Smith, a seasoned business leader in the world of beauty products. 5. Let me start by saying a few words about my own background. Over the course of my career, I have helped 5 startup beauty brands become top-tier brands in the international market.
Step 3. Saying what your topic or title or subject is. Clearly communicates what the training is about and sets expectations. Example.
1. In my presentation I would like to report on. Or. I'm here today to present. 2. Explaining why your topic is relevant for your audience. 3. Today's topic is of particular interest to those of you who. Or. My talk is particularly relevant to those of you who. 4. By the end of this talk you will be familiar with. 5. I'm looking forward to talking with you today about presentation skills, your topic. 6. What I'd like to present to you today is. 7. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is. 8. The subject or focus or topic or title of my presentation or talk or speech is. In this talk, I or we would like to concentrate on.
Step 4. Explaining why your topic is relevant for your audience. Grabs attention, demonstrates the value proposition of the training and motivates participants to learn. Example.
1. By the end of this talk you will be familiar with. 2. Today's topic is of particular interest to those of you who. 3. My talk is particularly relevant to those of you who.
Step 5. Stating your purpose or objective. Provides a clear roadmap for the session, keeps everyone focused on achieving specific learning outcomes. Example.
1. This talk is designed to act as a springboard for discussion. 2. This morning I'm going to be talking to you about. Or, telling you about. Or, showing you how to deal with. Or, taking a look at the recent development in. Or, reporting on the results of the study we carried out. 3. What I'm going to do. Or, what I intend to do is describe to you. Or, show you. Or, tell you about. 4. The purpose. Or, objective. Or, aim of this presentation is to. 5. Today I'd like to give you an overview of. 6. I'd like to update you on. Or, inform you about. Or, put you in the picture about. Or, give you the background to. Or, present the results of my research. 7. During the next 2 hours we will be.
Step 6. Participants' expectations. Encourages active participation, clarifies any uncertainties, and ensures everyone is on the same page. 1. Ask participants their expectations of this training and write them on the flip chart. 2. Identify any expectations that are outside the scope of the workshop. 3. Compare the expectations to the objectives of the training. 4. Remind participants during the workshop to check if their expectations are being met. Step 7. Presenting the outline or organization or structure of your presentation. Creates a sense of order, helps participants follow along, and allows them to anticipate what's coming. Example.
1. The subject can be looked at under the following headings. 2. We have organized this talk in the following way. 3. This presentation is structured as follows. 4. This talk will cover 2 current theories on the topic of. 5. I've divided my presentation into 3 main parts. 6. In my presentation I'll focus on 3 major issues. 7. We thought it would be useful to divide our talk into 3 main sections. 8. We can break this area down into the following fields.
Step 8. Sequencing. Ensures a logical flow of information, builds upon knowledge progressively, and optimizes learning. Example.
1. So, I'll begin by filling you in on the background to. Or. Bringing you up to date on. Or. Giving you an overview of the history of. Or. Making a few observations about /outlining. And then. I'll go on to highlight what I see as the main points of. Or. Put the situation into some kind of perspective. Or. Discuss in more depth the implications of. Or. Take you through. Or. Make detailed recommendations regarding. 2. One thing I'll be dealing with is the issue of. And then. I'll end with. Or. And finally, I'd like to address the problem of. Or. To raise briefly the issue of. 3. My first point concerns. 4. I'll begin. Or. Start off by. Then I'll move on to. Then or next. After that. I'll be looking at. 5. First. Or. First of all. Or. I'd like to give you an overview of. Secondly. Or. Then or next. Or. I'll focus on. Thirdly or and then, we'll consider. Finally. Or. Lastly. Or. Last of all. Or. I'll deal with.
Step 9. Timing. Keeps the session on track, avoids information overload, and allows for Q&A and activities. Example.
1. It will take about 30 minutes to cover these issues. 2. This should only last 20 minutes. 3. My presentation will take about 4 hours.
Step 10. Handouts. Provides reinforcement and reference materials, reinforces key learning points, and helps participants continue learning after the session. Example.
1. I can email the PowerPoint presentation to anybody who wants it. 2. Don't worry about taking notes. I've put all the important information on a handout for you. 3. Does everybody have a handout? Or brochure or copy of the report? Please take one and pass them on. 4. I'll be handing out copies of the slides at the end of my talk.
Step 11. Questions and answers. Encourages clarification, fosters active participation, and allows you to gauge understanding. Example.
1. If you don't mind, we'll leave questions till the end. 2. There will be time for questions after my presentation. 3. If you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time. 4. Please interrupt me if there is something which needs clarifying. Otherwise, there'll be time for discussion at the end. 5. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, I'll be happy to answer them. A. Inviting questions. Example. 1. We just have time for a few questions. 2. And now I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. 3. Are there any questions? 4. If you have any questions, I'd be pleased to answer them. B. Clarifying questions. Example. 1. So, if I understood you correctly, you would like to know whether. 2. if I could just rephrase your question. You'd like to know. 3. Let me just check that I have understood your question. You're asking. 4. I'm afraid I didn't quite catch that. 5. I'm sorry, could you repeat your question, please? C. Checking whether the questioner is satisfied. Example. 1. Can we go on? 2. Is that the kind of information you were looking for? 3. Does that answer your question? D. Responses to good questions. Example. 1. That's a very good question. 2. That's interesting. 3. Good point. E. Admitting you don't know. Example. 1. Interesting question. What do you think? 2. Sorry, that's not my field. But I'm sure Peter Bolt Form's sales department could answer your question. 3. I'm afraid I don't have that information with me. 4. Sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head. 5. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to answer that question at the moment. 6. I'm afraid I don't know the answer to your question, but I'll try to find out for you. F. Responses to irrelevant questions. Example. 1. That's not really my field. 2. I'm afraid I don't see the connection. 3. Well, I think that goes beyond the scope of my expertise/presentation. 4. To be honest, I think that raises a different issue. G. Negative responses to questions. Example. 1. Hopefully not. 2. I don't think/believe so. 3. Not quite. 4. Not necessarily. 5. Not as a rule. H. Hedging, not saying yes or no. Example. 1. Not if we can help it. 2. To some extent. 3. It depends. 4. On the whole, yes. I. Postponing questions. Example. 1. Perhaps we could go over this after the presentation. 2. I'd prefer to answer your question in the course of my presentation. 3. If you don't mind, I'll deal with/come back to this point later in my presentation. 4. Can we get back to this point a bit later? 5. Would you mind waiting until the question and answer session at the end? J. Closing discussion time. Example. 1. So if there are no further questions, I guess. 2. I'll finish there. Thank you very much. 3. I think we have time for one more question. 4. If there are no other questions, I'll finish there. Thank you very much.
Step 12. Conclusion. Summarizes key takeaways, reinforces learning objectives, and leaves participants with a sense of accomplishment.
A. Indicating the end of your presentation. Example. 1. As a final point, I'd like to. 2. Finally, I'd like to highlight one key issue. 3. That completes my presentation. 4. I'm now approaching. Or. Nearing the end of my presentation. 5. Well, this brings me to the end of my presentation or talk. 6. That covers just about everything I wanted to say about. B. Summarizing points. Example. 1. I'll briefly summarize the main issues. 2. Therefore or thus. Or. On this basis or given this, it can be concluded or deduced or inferred that. 3. From the table. Or. Figures. Or. Data. Or. Results. Or. Information, it can be seen. Or. Concluded. Or. Shown or estimated or calculated that. 4. Let me just run over/through the key points again. 5. To conclude. Or. In conclusion, I'd like to. 6. In short. Or. In a word. Or. In a nutshell. Or. In brief. or to sum up, or to summarize, it is generally 7. Widely accepted, or argued, or held or believed that. 8. First we looked at, and we saw that. Then we considered, and we argued. C. Making recommendations. Example. 1. In my opinion, we should. 2. Based on the figures we have, I'm quite certain that. 3. We'd suggest. 4. We therefore strongly recommend that. D. Close. Example. 1. I hope you will have gained an insight into. 2. Unless anyone has anything else to add, I think that's it. Thanks for coming. 3. Thank you for your attention. 4. Before I stop. Or finish, let me just say. 5. Thank you for listening.
With these 12 steps as your compass, you're well on your way to leading transformative training sessions. Remember, you have the power to ignite a spark in your participants, empowering them to not just acquire knowledge, but to transform it into real-world action and lasting success. So, take a deep breath, step into that training room with confidence, and get ready to make a positive impact. Embrace the opportunity to empower them with new skills, knowledge, and confidence. The world needs your unique brand of training magic. Go out there and shine. Go forth, inspire, and guide your audience to success.